Right, so Overlord Chapter 3, or as it's called in the manga, Episode 3, again, it kind of cements my fact that the adaptation that Madhouse is doing is basically the the manga, not the light novel. Because what drew my attention to the fact it wasn't more a light novel adaptation that was a manga adaptation was the fact that they don't explain the beginning part really well. There's a beginning passage that's not in the actual episode of episode 1, and which kind of hindered what I knew about it. And the manga again doesn't actually explain that at all, so you kind of don't know where it's from. So you have to realise that maybe Madhouse is adapting the manga rather than the light novel. Granted, as I've actually just learned, the manga comes out monthly, so it's on chapter 7, if I remember correctly. So it's been 7 chapters so far. So I don't know where the manga gets up to in the point. I don't know if it gets past the point where he fights Clementine and he's fighting Shantia now. Not too sure, but this chapter centered on the knight, and then Ayn is saving the town, and then basically becomes basically becomes like friends with them. And then yeah, it's basically it's centered on that fact. And again, it pretty much adapts that episode into the anime pretty well. There's no lost in translation parts, even though I think the conversation between the knight and Arblader Mora is slightly better in the manga than it is in the anime. I think it's slightly a bit more like, you gotta do that, it's good for you kind of thing. I think it's better, and also I think I like Arblader's explanations. And then also there's a comedic part where when he gives the vital to the girl, and then she doesn't take it, and he kind of sees a misunderstanding. The comedy's handled better in the manga than it is in the anime, slightly. Like, the anime does have its times when the comedy does actually shine and does do really, really well, but there's times where it doesn't, and the manga, I think, does it better. The only drawback I have with the manga is the actual artwork itself, because the artwork is really inconsistent. It doesn't keep... I can't judge, I'm not an artist, but it doesn't keep a consistent level of detail. It sort of goes from really, really good to really, really bad really quickly. It doesn't really look nice sometimes. You have to look at it, basically, to actually have your own opinions. I don't think in its own right it looks good. It does do the job. It's no gangster, but it does do the job. I mean, they could have got a better artist to do the actual thing, but I think it's way too much stuff going on in one panel that it could actually maybe hinder how much you can draw. So it kind of does... You do have to factor in all the reasons why it might be bad, but I'm not too sure. But I mean, as a person who doesn't really like novels very fondly, read the manga, because the manga is actually really good. It doesn't do much more than the anime or the light novel, but it's just there. If you don't want to read a light novel, it's there. Yeah, you gotta wait for it monthly, because I think episode 8 came out, or episode 7. I'm not sure how they work in the actual manga, but the latest one came out, I think, 2 days ago. So you get that. It's good. I like it. But with all that said, again, I have been the driver, and I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.